Hello again, young man. Now, we're going to go over some of the examples of the trinomials that were given in your word problems. And you'll notice they seem like they're all complicated. A complicated trinomial is one where x squared has a number in front of it. So you think, oh God, I got to multiply that number times the last number, and then figure out what adds up to the middle number, and you're going to freak out and give up on every question. But look at the word puzzles he's given you. Your first step when given a complicated trinomial, first step, see if the number in front of x squared can be factored out of every number. First step, always. Always. You're going to save yourself a big pain in the ass. So 4 can indeed come out of 200. And 2400. I know this because almost all hundreds, anything in the hundreds can be divided by 4. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, all can be divided by 4. Okay? Can 3 come out of 12? Yeah, most likely. So it's probably going to come out of 96 because 3 can go into a 9 easily and 3 can go into a 6 easily. And sure enough, it's 32. So boom, good. Can 4 come out of 140? Well, 4 goes into 14 3 times, leaving 20 left over. 4 goes into that. Yeah, 35. Great. And this one is simply 75. So good. Yeah, it works for that one. 2 can easily come out of these because any number ending in an even number can always be divided by 2. So you'll see that all his word puzzles he's given you, they all can be factored out. I think I forgot one here, but I'll do it in a bit. They can all be factored, have the number factored out. So he has not given you any complicated trinomials. They have all been simple. Your next step is to read the question carefully. If he says using factoring or by factoring, then you'll know you have to do it the long way. But if he says using the quadratic function or formula, then you know that you have to solve it using this thing over here, right? That he's probably going to give you in the test. So you have to read the question so not to waste your time. You also have to not panic and look to divide the numbers out first. So let's start with the first one. These first two are by factoring. These last two are quadratic functions. And when you do the quadratic formula, rather, you have to identify your A, your B, and your C after there's no number in front of it. You could actually use the quadratic formula with the numbers in front of it right now. You don't have to factor it out. It makes your life easier to factor out, but you don't have to. You just have to punch in these big numbers into your goddamn calculator. So let's start with the first one, okay? And I'd like you to follow along because it'll help you. First one, let's factor out the 4. 4, easy. We're left with bracket x squared plus 50x minus, 600. Big numbers. Big numbers, but there's a small number here. So the factors are probably going to be close to each other. So right away, I see that this is a minus and this is a plus. So I know I'm going to end up with x plus something and x minus something. It's the only way to have this last number multiply this last number and come up with a minus. Okay, the plus here also tells me that the bigger factor is going to be a plus. Let's look at 600. Instantly, for figuring out factors quickly, you grab your calculator. Divide 600 by 1. Don't have to. Divide 600 by 2. Get 300. Right away, I can see that these are nowhere close to adding up to 50. So I know I'm probably going to have to go well down the list, which is a pain in the ass. But that's why we have calculators. You divide by 3, you get 200. You divide by 4, you get 150. You divide by 5, you get 120. You divide by 6, you get 100. Look, they're still adding up to 106. So my guess is we're going to have to go quite a ways down still. You divide by 7. 7 times 50, sometimes 749, sometimes 856. With 40, nope, doesn't exist. 7 divided by 8. 8 into that goes 756 with 40. Yeah, I think it goes into 75. 8 times 75. Does that make sense? Well, we'll look at 4. Yeah, that makes sense. Half of 150 is 175. Double 4 is 8. So 8 and 75. Does it go into 9? Well, no, I don't think so. 9 into that 7 with 40 left over. No, doesn't go. Does it go into 10? Yeah, it goes 60. And we're looking for a number minus a number. Number minus a number. 160. Doesn't add up, remember, because we have to have a x plus and an x minus. So they get a number minus something. And look at that. 60 minus 10. 50. Okay, so we're talking about 60 and 10. Boom. We're done with the factors. That's why knowing your factors is helpful. So we'll start clean here. We've got the 4 on the outside. Now the 4 really in the outside doesn't matter anymore. We got x plus 60 and x minus 10. And I could have jumped right down the list fast because I know that the number I'm coming up with is much smaller than this number here. So it's a factor that's further down the list. Okay, I got it. Now, can't forget, these are just the factors. He wants what x is. And remember, these generally equal 0, so we're looking for something that multiplied out is equal to 0. Well, it's x is equal to minus 60, and x is equal to 10. Often, it's a dimension that he's looking for, a measurement. Measurements of anything can't be negative. You can't have a negative length of your wall, or you're not negative 60 centimeters tall. You can only have positive, so that's ruled out. Therefore, the answer he's looking for is probably x is equal to 10, whatever, meters, centimeters, whatever the question asks for. That is how you do it. Make it a simple trinomial. All the word puzzles he's given you can be converted into a simple trinomial. Some of them, he's going to ask you to use the quadratic equation, though, because there's not clean factors. Let's go to the next one. Okay, the next one. Right here. 3x squared. We'll get rid of that one now. So we can factor 3 out. The 3 won't matter anymore. X squared plus 4x minus, 32 is equal to 0. So that minus 32 tells me I'm looking for an x plus something and an x minus something. That means we're looking for a number that subtracts out to 4 and multiplies out to 32 and subtracts down to 4. And that's a small number here, so it's probably low on the factor list. Let's begin. So 32. 32 and 1. Well, I know it's not going to do that because 32 minus 1 is 31. 16 and 2. 16 minus 2 is 14, not 4. So what about 3? Does 32 get a 3? No. Does it do a 4? Let's see. Yes, it does. 4 and 8 is 8 minus 4 is 4. I got them. It's 4 and 8. It's 8 x plus 8 and x minus 4. That's the only way to produce a plus 4 and a minus 32. Do not panic in your test. It is findable. As he's given you, it's findable. So again, the 3 in front doesn't matter. We're left with x plus 8 and x minus 4. Don't forget, we're looking for the roots. So we're left with x is equal to minus 8 or x is equal to 4. But all of these are objects with dimensions. They're squares or cubes or farms or buildings or people's heights or whatever they are. So you cannot have a negative dimension. So our answer has to be 4. Boop. So we get x is equal to 4, whatever he said. Started with centimeters, meters, whatever. Light years, whatever he started with. It helps to have that. Okay, good. I've got to pause. I don't have a